He was never the favorite. Not in school, not in life. Not even in his own family. People didn't look at him with pride. They looked through him. He was quiet. Not because he didn't have words, but because he learned early that no one was listening. In class, his hand went up ignored. At home, his ideas were dismissed with a sigh. Among friends, he became background noise. He didn't shine. He blended in, and the world loves loud. It loves bold. It loves those who take up space. He took none. And so, it became his identity invisible. But deep inside, something stirred. Not a cry for attention. Not a plea to be seen. Just a seed, planted deep, buried under years of doubt. A quiet whisper, one day, you'll remember me. But first, he had to disappear completely. He finally told someone his dream. I want to build something big. Maybe my own company, or a movement, or a life that means something. The room fell silent. Then came the smirk. Then the laughter. You can barely finish anything. You don't even have what it takes. They didn't just doubt him. They enjoyed it. Mocking him became entertainment. Tearing him down was casual. Their words stabbed sharper than knives, but he didn't argue. He didn't shout. He didn't cry, not in front of them. He smiled, nodded, and said, you might be right. But inside, something broke. And something else was born. He stopped talking. He stopped seeking. He went silent, not because he quit, because now he was preparing. He sat alone one night. No distractions. No music. No phone. Just silence. Just him and the choice. Am I really who they say I am? Is this it for me? Am I just another forgettable face in the crowd? Or is there more? He thought of everything he had failed at. Everything he had been mocked for. Everything he had tried and quit. And he made a vow. I will become the person they said I could never be. From this moment on, no more waiting. No more explaining. No more needing approval. From this moment on, the world would see a ghost become a giant. He didn't say goodbye. He didn't post an announcement. He didn't need a dramatic exit. He just disappeared. Gone from parties. Gone from group chats. Gone from the noise. They didn't even notice. Why would they? He was invisible anyway. But while the world stayed busy chasing approval, he went deep. He took inventory of his habits, his patterns, his excuses. He burned the old version of himself. Piece by piece, late nights became early mornings. Netflix became workouts. Excuses were replaced with execution. While they posted motivational quotes, he became one. He wasn't chasing success anymore. He was becoming worthy of it. He vanished from their lives, so he could finally show up in his own. People think success is about goals, strategies, routines, but they never talk about the war. Not the one with the world. The one with yourself. And he was deep in it now. Every morning, a battle. Against the voice that said sleep in. Against the comfort calling him back. Against the memory of the old version begging to return. He wasn't fighting laziness. He was fighting identity. Because becoming something new means killing who you were. And that doesn't happen peacefully. He fell. He failed. He fractured. Some days he wanted to quit. To crawl back to the life where it was easier. Where being invisible didn't hurt. But then he'd hear their voices again. The laughter. The doubt. The cold smirks. And he'd remember. They said ICOULDN, single quotes D. So he laced up his shoes. And went back into war. The first spark doesn't come with applause. There's no spotlight. No celebration. It's subtle. It's the moment your body finally stops resisting the alarm clock. It's the first set that feels easier than yesterday. It's the first time you look in the mirror and don't hate what you see. In one day, it hit him. He didn't recognize himself, not in a bad way. In the best way. He was changing. Not for them, not for show. For him, he started lifting more, thinking clearer, feeling sharper, small wins stacked like bricks, habits solidified like cement, momentum built like a storm. He wasn't just grinding, he was becoming. And for the first time in his life, he smiled, not out of pride, but because for once he finally saw who he could be. Most people stop at discipline. They build a schedule, they show up, they do what's necessary, but not him. He crossed a line most never do. He became obsessed, not just with the work, but with becoming unrecognizable. It wasn't about proving them wrong anymore. It was about proving himself right. He didn't just want to improve. He wanted to dominate. To become the one they couldn't ignore. The one who walks into a room and shifts the air. The one whose presence silences everything. He stopped measuring in hours. He started measuring in inches. In how far he could push, how deep he could go, how long he could suffer. The world thought he was crazy, but the greats always look insane until they win. Then it came, the breaking point, the moment every dreamer meets, when everything screams, it's not worth it. One night, after another failed attempt, after another door slammed, after months of isolation, he collapsed on the floor, breathing heavy. Tears finally winning, he whispered, "I can't do this anymore." No one heard, no one replied. It was just him and the darkness. But in that silence, he realized something. No one was coming, not to save him, not to lift him, not to tell him he was enough. This wasn't their job. It was his. If he wanted to rise, he had to rise alone. So he wiped his tears, stood up, looked in the mirror, and said the words that changed everything. One more day. If I quit tomorrow, fine, but not tonight. One more day. From that day forward, he stopped chasing motivation. He became momentum. He became the system. The same floor he broke down on, he cleaned it. The same mirror he avoided, he faced it daily. The same voice that said quit, he replaced it with again. And while the world stayed loud, he stayed in motion. No one clapped, no one noticed, but he did. He saw the changes, the strength, the control. His life didn't transform overnight, but it transformed permanently. That's the real victory, the unseen one, the one inside, the one that turns nobodies into legends. Before the world ever wakes up. It always happens the same way. First, they ignore you. Then they doubt you. Then they watch you. He didn't expect it, didn't plan for it. But one day, they noticed. They started asking questions. Subtle at first. Double quotes. Yo, are you still doing that thing? Damn, I saw your post. That's cool. Man, you're really killing it lately. The same people who laughed, who rolled their eyes, now leaned in closer, trying to understand, trying to catch up. He had no hate, no bitterness, only focus. Because while they were watching, he was still working. They scrolled. He stacked wins. They posted quotes. He became one. They stayed where they were. He kept rising. He never wanted to come back, not to prove a point, not to brag, not even to be admired, but he did that quietly. The same town that doubted him, the same streets he walked alone, the same people who forgot him. He walked through it all, different, not louder, just stronger. Not cocky, just certain. And suddenly, the energy shifted. Eyes followed him. Voices hushed around him. Even the loudest now had nothing to say. They felt it. The presence of someone who did the work. The power of someone who built in silence. The weight of someone who no longer needed to prove, because results scream louder than words. He no longer chased success. He carried it, but the mission evolved. Now, it wasn't just about proving anything. It was about giving back, not with speeches, but with example. He began teaching. Not the world, Just those who were ready to listen. He mentored the hungry, helped the broken, lifted the invisible, because he remembered what it felt like to have no one, to be counted out, to cry in silence and still wake up at 4 a.m. And now he became that voice for someone else. That's legacy. Not fame, not riches. Impact. He was once the one they asterisk. He never sent a message, but they received it loud and clear. To the ones who laughed, he didn't laugh back. He outlasted them. To the ones who ignored, he didn't demand attention. He earned it. To the ones who said he couldn't, he didn't argue. He proved it. And now he walks into rooms where their names aren't even spoken. He's built tables they'll never sit at. He created a lane they can't follow, not out of spite, but because he outgrew the space they tried to confine him in. The people who doubted him, they still exist, but only in the rear view. And he doesn't drive looking backward, asterisk. But if you're still in the dark, still fighting silently, still being laughed at, listen, don't quit. They don't see you yet. Good. They're not supposed to, not yet. Because if they saw you too soon, they'd try to shape you, control you, limit you. But right now you are dangerous. Because no one expects what's coming, and when it gets heavy, when it feels like you're going nowhere, remember, every inch matters. Every push, every rep, every page, every step counts. You're building something they'll never understand. Until it's too big to ignore, stay hidden, stay humble, stay lethal. And when the time comes, let the work speak, asterisk. Now when he walks into a room, no one laughs. No one mocks. No one doubts, because they feel it. That presence. Not of someone who talked, but someone who did. He speaks less now, smiles more, moves with calm fury. Because real power doesn't need volume. It echoes. He's not just respected. He's remembered. He's not just successful. He's solid. And when they ask him, how did you do it? He pauses, looks them in the eye, and says, they said I couldn't, so I did. Then he walks away in silence. The loudest silence they've ever heard. Asterisk. Now when he walks into a room, no one laughs. No one mocks. No one doubts, because they feel it. That presence. Not of someone who talked, but someone who did. He speaks less now, smiles more, moves with calm fury. Because real power doesn't need volume. It echoes. He's not just respected. He's remembered. He's not just successful. He's solid. And when they ask him, how did you do it? He pauses, looks them in the eye, and says, they said I couldn't, so I did. Then he walks away in silence. The loudest silence they've ever heard.